Hey there, it's Raven Scry. Today I'm going to be offering another crypto reading. Done quite a little stint of them, just sending them on through to you guys. The reading is going to be Avalanche and Avalaunch. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy the reading. If you've got any comments or anything to, share, please do so below. Also, if you'd like one of these crypto readings, please get in touch via the About page. I don't think I'm going to leave them open for that long, but I just feel like it's an important window of time and opportunity that we get into before stuff starts to get really crazy in the way that I'm feeling about it. All right, enjoy. Okay, so firstly looking at Avalanche, just connecting with the project Avalanche to see what Spirit wishes to show or share about the project. It's interesting because as I connect to it, it's like I'm seeing it as this ball. It's like a ball, and there's a lot of fire energy with this in the way they're showing it. And I'm just going to give it as it's being shown to me. It's like it's sort of, they unwrap a scene to share information in this way. So it's like there is this red ball of energy. It almost feels like a planet in the way that I'm being shown this, but it's very red, and it's like Mars-like, it's like burning fire. Now, I feel as though as I connect to this, I'm hearing eruption soon, but they're really wanting to draw my attention to the nature of the energy that's with Avalanche. It's like it's got a very fiery, Mars-like energy in the way they're showing it. Now, it's interesting because this is not necessarily the way the project is going to move forever. It's like a trait. They're showing me a trait of the project, this very fiery Mars explosive energy. So there's going to be this rise soon is what they're talking about, and it's like boom, it's like they show a bomb going off, they show an explosion within the movement of how it's coming through. Now, I asked Spirit to help me to understand how it's going to move over, into the next period, into 2024, 2025. I'm hearing success, eruptions, and they're talking about global eruptions. And it's interesting because they're blending and merging this with volcanic energy. Now, sometimes these readings will mirror what's taking place on the planet in different ways from my experience of how things come through over the years of doing these crypto readings in particular. But yeah, there's an explosive volcanic energy, and it's like I'm just sitting here observing this volcano-like energy, and more than you expect, faster than you expect. And some won't be ready. People won't be ready. So I asked Spirit, the significance of this. Is it like, is this a very big move coming? Yes. They're talking about global adoption. They're talking about next level, boom, boom, open, next level of finance. It's like an expansion that's very undeniable. And it's almost like, the way that these readings so far that I've done for several coins, the way they come through is so different and unique, but this certainly has the most strength so far. And wider adoption is the way that they're bringing this in. It does. They're also referencing AI generation here in connection, but on a much larger scale. It does almost feel like, it's adopted by some other larger sort of company, or, just this larger adoption is the way they show it. Explosive volcanic And I ask a little bit more about, as we move into 2024, 2025, what they may want to add to this. They're talking about eruption in growth, endless possibilities here. I ask, okay, can you give me some kind of figure? They're showing me an 8, and an 8 with zeros. It feels as though it's an 800. Now, certainly this is not financial advice, and often I don't like to give figures because, things can change and it can be different. The outcome can end up being quite different. But with this 800, like 800 is quite significant here. With Avalanche. I'm just asking anything more that they wish to say about Avalanche, because they just keep bringing me back to its power. It's like it's almost undeniable. You don't really need to know much about it in the way the energy is being shown. It's just big there. And it's also interesting because they show me this red planetary energy, but it's like I'm floating above it, and they're making me see it from above, and it's like there's all these valleys and peaks and troughs through this kind of terrain, but it's like a journey, It's like they're showing this as this journey in some way. But it's just, it's very powerful, the energy around Avalanche. And before I move over to the other coin, I'm just going to ask anything else. Strong, strength, success. Success. They just keep giving me a good, big feeling. Eruptions soon is what they're saying. So it feels very, very good, very strong, Avalanche, in the way that it's moving, in the way that it's going to move over the next kind of couple of years. And I'm not really looking much further beyond that. So, things can change, but, it's looking powerful over the next, 12, 24 months. Big stuff. Okay, so I'm going to move along now to the other project, Avalaunch, that you've asked for. Avalaunch must be one of the ecosystems. I think it's been mentioned in another reading as well, Avalaunch. Okay, so as I connect to the energy of Avalaunch, success, it's not as big in its energy, it's smaller. Okay, and as I connect to it, it's interesting. They're showing me these hands full of coins, and it's like offerings and generosity that they're showing me. It's like someone's got this handful of golden coins and they're giving it. It's like, here you go, here you go, here you go. Giving out these coins in some way to the community, it feels like. And they're talking about larger adoption, but it's like all these coins are just being kind of handed down. And I can see these people that feel like, in the way they feel younger, or they feel perhaps less fortunate in some way. But it's a generosity flow. There's some sort of generous flow with the energy of this here. So as I ask, if we move later into 2024, into 2025, and just asking about how this will progress, this project. Talking about, it's a bit unclear though, hang on, it's like later than they expect, later than people expect, but it will run, it's like it's being sort of held back in some way. And there's this held back energy. It's like it feels smaller, and I don't know why they keep showing me this smaller energy. Maybe it's not going to do as well as, for instance, Avalanche. Clearly, that's probably the case. But and it's all kind of relative as well as, I say, well, what's going to run harder, what's going to become larger, what's going to, Avalanche maybe, may not do as many X's, but it feels significantly larger. But, I won't get caught in the finer details there. So back to Avalaunch, it's almost like it's swallowing it up. I keep kind of gravitating back to this big red ball of Mars-like energy. So as I move back to Avalaunch, I feel as though it's very new, it's very fresh in terms of the energy that's with it. It's like there's things being created from it, movement and possibilities coming out of it. It's like a birthing place. It's like new things. They haven't grown and developed, but it's birthing, and it's offering that space in some way. And I just ask Spirit, help me to understand this a little bit more for the most important information to come through around Avalaunch, of what can be understood and seen here. They're just saying, yes, positive, but not as positive. They keep drawing me back to Avalanche. It's just like, whoa, like I just keep getting suctioned back in. And it almost feels like it's suctioned back in and a time period passing or something, where there's other possibilities of different projects coming from the bigger source, because it feels like it's the kind of big kind of energy that's like the creator of all the others, which essentially it would be, like if we're on the Avalanche blockchain. But that's kind of the way it feels. It's kind of sucking me back. It's almost like sucking Avalaunch back in, and it's smaller in its energy. So it just, they show positivity, movement with it, but it's not kind of outstanding, and I just keep getting drawn back to this red ball. But I'm just going to ask as we move further down the timeline if they can give me a little bit more around the project. They say success, but they say drop. And they're sort of giving me no. They're kind of just sort of trying to steer me away from this project, is the way that it feels. Now, this is the Spirit's perspective on the matter. Like, it still could run, it still could do quite well, but, this is their advice, and this is what they're wanting to share around this project. So basically they're just kind of giving me, often they give me a thumbs up or a tick or a success. There's these kind of hand gestures and different things that they throw in, but with this one, it's like a cross. They're kind of crossing the hands. They're like, no, and they're kind of steering me away from it. Success in other places and success elsewhere is kind of what is coming through here. They're pointing me elsewhere. And it's like pointing me elsewhere into the future, and it almost feels like it hasn't been birthed yet. And it's interesting because that was mirroring this place of birth, this birthing place, this energy of birthing place, which is what I was saying, this young energy of new. But it's like the way that is coming through, it's also being shown in like it's to come. It's like it's later. It hasn't been birthed yet. It's coming through in that way as well. So it offers that resonance, but it's also a double meaning from Spirit, sort of saying like hold off on some of these projects until later, is the feeling that is coming through here. Okay, I'm just going to ask, is there anything more around Avalaunch? They just keep saying it's not where the riches are, and they're just steering me away from it. So certainly not feeling like Avalaunch is worth it necessarily. And again, it possibly could run, as most things will within the bull market, but it's just like they're kind of saying it's not worth it. Hold off, and probably be better to invest in Avalanche. I'm getting confused now. Avalanche. Better to be investing in Avalanche until later on, until there's more solidity in the ecosystem's kind of development or something. But either way, Avalanche's kind of energy is just really powerful, and big moves, like Spirit's like, whoa, it's coming in with strength here. So certainly be more focused on Avalanche than Avalaunch. Okay, that's it for today's reading. Any thoughts or comments below? Avalanche certainly has a big energy to it, which is awesome. And also, question you guys, are you enjoying me sharing all of these crypto readings with you? Please let me know below what your thoughts, what your feelings are, if you're enjoying them. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Raven Scry signing off.